2018 SEAT Ibiza Hatchback Review. The good points of SEAT Ibiza Hatchback: sharp styling, practical interior, lots of kit, great drive and automobile. The bad points of SEAT Ibiza Hatchback: interior quality. Top spec car is pricey. Need to wait patiently for more engines. No more SE or Street. Since it turned out first launched inside UK 26 years ago, 5.4 million SEAT Ibizas have discovered homes all over the world. Also, it's the Spanish brand's biggest selling model. Enter the 5th generation SEAT Ibiza, in line with the VW Group's all-new small car platform called MQB-A0, that will also underpin new versions on the Volkswagen Polo and Audi A1, plus the Citroën crossover. Search used SEAT Ibiza cars available on. What's a SEAT Ibiza love to live with? Here's our long-term test. Rivals to the new Ibiza: wide range of, such as the usual suspects within the form from the Ford Fiesta and Vauxhall Corsa, in addition to Peugeot 208, Renault Clio and Skoda Fabia. Youthful style, however practical. SEAT people are overwhelmingly younger than other supermini buyers by about several years according to your brand, and yes, it's clear to understand why, with sharp design, neat proportions and eye-catching design details. The Ibiza seems as if a shrunken Leon, and there is no bad thing, with sharp creases around its bodywork and distinctive LED lights featuring on some models. We think it's one in the thinnest-looking superminis available. That doesn't mean practicality may be ignored, quite the contrary. This 5th generation Ibiza has become only available within a 5-door body style. Demand has fallen for 3-door superminis, therefore the Ibiza SC has become dropped from your range. It's a similar story for small estate cars. The street estate proceeded to go in favor on the Arona. In fact, this Ibiza is 2 mm shorter compared to the car it offers replaced, but SEAT boasts they have more interior space and boot room than ever before thanks to a 60 mm surge in the wheelbase. This means enough space for 4 adults to suit comfortably, and also their luggage in a very boot that's 63 liters bigger it was previously. The interior planning is more restrained compared to the outside, however it's functional and also easy to enjoy even after very little time spent when driving. Interior quality trails many of its rivals, but it really feels like it'll last. And it also comes which has a host of kit that will attract those who love gadgets. SEAT Ibiza Review: frugal engine range. Buyers are well catered for regarding engines, with familiar 1.0-liter 3-cylinder units available inside a choice of 75, 95 and 115 horsepower forms. The latter two are turbocharged, while a hotter 150 horsepower 1.5-liter TSI petrol can also be available. Strong economy is par for your course effortlessly, models returning over 50 miles per gallon, with low CO2 emissions overall. Diesels will probably be available further in the future, that will no doubt interest company car drivers or those traveling longer distances often. For most though, petrol power will likely be in favor, especially out and about. They're nippy and frugal, yet also refined, with slick manual gearboxes standard on all models, that has a DSG automatic on the 115 horsepower 1.0 TSI. On the move, the Ibiza is able to blend driving fun and comfort adequately indeed. It's as at your home on a tight, twisty road which is in the outside lane from the motorway. SEAT Ibiza specs, tech and equipment. A familiar group of models from the Ibiza range, beginning with S and moving up through say the expected bestseller, sporty FR and much more luxurious Zealance at the top on the range. All models come using a generous amount of technology, although S are going to be a bit too sparse for a lot of, and SEAT launched the Ibiza with a few attractive finance deals to entice customers, including a free insurance offer on some models. 2018 rear seat belt recall. In May 2018, a recall was issued on SEAT Ibiza, SEAT Arona and Volkswagen Polo models in connection with left rear seat belt unintentionally releasing. Such an event may occur during quick lane changes and once the center rear and left rear seat are occupied at the identical time. A redesigned belt lock fixture will likely be fitted through the recalls. SEAT Ibiza FR sportiest option, no word on Ibiza Coupe yet. While C-Spec will likely be a bulk seller, FR trim is very attractive with an increase of aggressive looks that suited the Ibiza's youthful character. We've heard nothing from SEAT with regards to a replacement for that Ibiza Coupe hot hatch, but considering VW gets the Polo GTI, Peugeot the 208 by Peugeot Outsport, Renault Sport provides the Clio Turbo and Ford's got the Fiesta Street, there's certainly a spot from the market for a sportier seat. The verdict. The SEAT Ibiza continues to grow. It looks fantastic, features a well-specified interior with genuine space for four, as well as a comprehensive choice of frugal yet nippy engines to pick from. What's more, it's keenly priced while offering one from the best drives inside the supermini class. Does the Ford Fiesta contain its own up? SEAT Ibiza review. 3.1.0 liters petrols power the vast majority of Ibiza range. Warm 1.5 TSI Evo for sale in FR. Frugal diesel comes later. SEAT Ibiza performance is provided by a number of petrol engine options, with diesel coming further in the future. Kicking the Ibiza petrol engine range off is really a 1.0-liter 3-cylinder pushing out 75 horsepower and 95 Nm of torque. It's a similar engine you'll find from the smaller City car. It's likely to end up favored by those that rarely get out of town. It is going from 0.62 miles per hour within a leisurely 14.7 seconds, and features a 5-speed manual gearbox. Top speed is rated at 104 miles per hour, providing more power and satisfaction, and anticipated to be the most favored engine, can be a turbocharged 1.0-liter TSI with 95 horsepower. Torque is rated at 175 Nm, which can be a noticeable leap above the non-turbo 1.0 MPI 75. This engine is really a punchy performer, having an eager response in the throttle and intensely smooth power delivery. It's effective at reaching 62 miles per hour coming from a standstill in 10.9 seconds. And works rather well with the slick-shifting 5-speed manual gearbox. It's over-comfortable about a motorway, and definitely will even pull well up slight gradients with no need to change down several gears. If you find yourself using a de-restricted German autobahn, it'll carry on to a premier speed of 113 miles per hour. If you would like something which has a bit more poke, there's a 115 horsepower on the same 1.0 TSI unit. This one is efficient at completing the 0.62 miles per hour sprint in 9.3 seconds, and definitely will reach a high speed of 121 miles per hour. It's a terrific option for those regularly driving within the motorway as it features a 6-speed manual gearbox instead with the usual 5. In practice, it doesn't feel massively quicker as opposed to 95 horsepower engine, though, but much of that comes to how refined the engines are. You don't notice since it's so quiet. It sees quickly and responsively, though, and easily keeps with faster moving traffic, because of 200 Nm of torque made available from 2,003, 500 revolutions per minute. SEAT Ibiza manual and auto transmission options. All Ibizas come using a manual gearbox as standard and, whether it's a 5 or 6-speed transmission, it's fantastic to use. The throw with the gear lever is nicely weighted and doesn't feel overly light like many superminis usually tend to, and it also falls easily at hand. It's one from the sweetest manual gearboxes you'll discover in this segment, that has a slick and precise action that doesn't feel as if a chore to make use of. A dual-clutch DSG automatic is on the 115 horsepower 1.0 TSI, which we're yet to sample. If it's as with any other car applying this gearbox it's used during the entire VW group, then it'll likely be smooth and responsive and well matched for the higher-powered petrol engine. Can I buy a diesel SEAT Ibiza? Yes, although not just yet. What we can say for sure, though, is there will be a selection of 1.6-liter TDI diesels with either 80 or 95 horsepower. It's likely a 5-speed manual gearbox will feature on both, that has a DSG option for the more powerful diesel. Which is the greatest SEAT Ibiza to suit your needs? So far, we've driven both 1.0-liter TSI petrols, and are both very strong and willing performers. The 95 horsepower will suit most buyers mainly because it's just in your house on the motorway as it's zipping about. The 115 horsepower model is great though, and is particularly the choice with the 2 in case you spend a lot of energy on dual carriageways and motorways. You'll appreciate the 6th gear, allowing the Ibiza to pay back down at higher speeds. Even so, the 95 horsepower not even close to struggles and is particularly rarely vocal. Additionally, it's available across more on the range versus the friendly 1.0 TSI 115. Feels such as a grown-up car. Excellent ride, but nonetheless fun. Steering is well weighted. With a fresh Ford Fiesta recently launched, the Ibiza incorporates a fight on its hands, because Car in the Blue Oval is amazingly accomplished in terms of providing an exciting drive that's also compliant and relaxed when you wish it to be. The Ibiza does an outstanding job though, and feels quite similar towards the Fiesta in terms of offering impressive ride comfort and tidy handling. Through a combination of bends, the Ibiza feels composed with tight body control and well-weighted steering, providing enough feedback with the driver to understand what's taking beneath them. The steering isn't quite as communicative like a Fiesta, nor as quick to interact with inputs, but this means a less frantic, more planted feel about the road, that could likely interest those trying to find something having a bit more balance. Selectable drive modes alter steering feedback and throttle response on FR models, switchable between comfort, eco, sport and individual modes. What's the SEAT Ibiza such as town? In reality, more Ibiza owners will likely be concerned with how easy it truly is to maneuver in the city than simply how much fun you will have a twisty country road, and also the good news is its compact dimensions lend it to very stress-free urban driving. Visibility is a useful one, along with the steering is light enough to maneuver in and out of tight spaces effortlessly, while optional extras including parking sensors and cameras will assist this further. What about sportier FR models? If you specify a sportier-looking Ibiza FR, sports suspension and larger 17-inch alloy wheels come as standard, with 18-inch wheels sold at extra cost. This makes the Ibiza even sharper, enabling a sporty, involving drive that feels more akin with the Fiesta than regular Ibizas. The upside is the fact that there isn't a massive compromise regarding ride quality, either. It still supplies a well-balanced ride overall, just with slightly tauter control if you're driving that little somewhat more enthusiastically. Dashboard is not hard and user-friendly. Infotainment is very useful. Quality trails its rivals in places. Jump into your driver's seat from the Ibiza, therefore you notice the amount more restrained it can be than its exterior styling. That's not necessarily a very bad thing, though, since it means it's simple and very easy to get comfortable, while all on the controls are well seated and stress-free to work with. There is sufficient of adjustment within the seat and tire, and all of seats are supportive and comfy, specifically those founding for spec models. What surprised us was just the amount thigh support there was clearly, which are often a niggle of smaller cars with smaller seats. Simple decor, nevertheless it's simple to use. There's a full-width little bit of trim throughout the dashboard which aims to provide some interest, but it really's only on higher spec models where this features plusher-looking materials besides grey plastic. There are a few quality question marks at the same time, with a small number of soft-touch materials found, even on top from the dash. A VW Polo it's not, but it really does still feel solidly constructed and like it'll last the life from the car. The way the primary controls inside center with the dash are extremely slightly angled slightly on the driver is really a nice touch, though, and you also feel just like you're sitting inside car, instead of on it. It's a refreshing feel, the other that instantly making you feel more involved with driving it. Even the Fiesta can't offer this, that has a loftier driving position that feels at odds with all the driving experience. Touchscreen infotainment systems are standard over the Ibiza range, which are slick and very easy to use. Opt for FR or lens trim and also you're treated to some super slick 8.0-inch color screen that's very easy to operate, and is also within easy reach in the driver. Strong seat comfort. Suspension well controlled. Impressive sound insulation. When you firstly set eyes about the Ibiza, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's a harsh riding car to complement its sharp looks. However, the SEAT Ibiza has improved significantly compared while using old car, and today provides an incredible compromise between sportiness and comfort. We've tried the Ibiza in regular form with small alloys, higher profile tires and even more basic seats, and also a high-spec FR with sports suspension, upgraded 18-inch alloys and sports seats. We're very happy to report that comfort levels are high across the product range, with few compromises produced by going for that sportier version. Let's discuss the regular car first, though. SEAT Ibiza say comfort. In best-selling form, the Ibiza is undoubtedly an accomplished performer on the subject of comfort. Despite feeling more basic inside, seat comfort impressed us with lots of support over a prolonged test drive, even though the combination of 16-inch alloy wheels and fatter tires meant it ingested harsh bumps from the road perfectly indeed. It's firmer than something such as a VW Polo or Kia Rio, but never jarring and doesn't get upset by bigger bumps. It should be a comparable story for entry-level S and higher spec lens trims, too. What regarding the FR? Even when you go with the sportier setup of FR trim, comfort levels are high. While sports suspension features, it's not noticeably firmer yet still soaks up bumps admirably. Adding 18-inch wheels on the mix means it could become a little more unsettled, nonetheless it took a group of bumps and imperfections to even suggest the Ibiza might break a sweat. The seats found from the Ibiza FR are particularly nice, with extra bolstering for greater support. They don't possess a short base either, that you just often get in superminis. A long journey brought no discomfort whatsoever. Is there much noise to cope with? Not in any way. Three-cylinder engines usually tend to make themselves known inside the cabin if you really rev them out. Nevertheless, the Ibiza remains relaxed in the event you do this. Sure, you can hear in the event it reaches higher revs, however it's not coarse and it also doesn't upset the calm in the cabin. It's the same story with wind and road noise, with only slight blustering round the angular door mirrors at speed. The optional 18-inch alloys do spice up some extra road rumble at speed, by road surface is a contributing. Consider this, too. All Ibizas consist of decent haul of kit. Just prevent entry-level S. Top-spec models might be packed with gadgets. The SEAT Ibiza much simpler to navigate than something such as the Ford Fiesta or Vauxhall Corsa, composed of just 4 trim levels, S, say, FR insolence. Standard SEAT Ibiza hatchback equipment. Things kick off while using Ibiza S, provided with 15-inch steel wheels, 5.0-inch monochrome touchscreen infotainment system with Bluetooth, USB port and aux connection, electric front windows and door mirrors, air conditioning, automatic headlights, front assist system with autonomous emergency braking, remote central locking, height adjustment for driver's seat. Step as much as best-selling say for your following: 15-inch alloy wheels, front fog lights with cornering function, LED daytime running lights and tail lights, body-colored door handles and mirror casings, 5.0-inch color touchscreen for infotainment system, leather leader, gear knob and handbrake, 60 hours 40 minutes split folding rear seats. The Ibiza FR builds on this with 17-inch alloy wheels, for specific back and front bumpers with twin exhaust pipes and privacy glass, gloss black door mirrors that fold electrically, 8.0-inch color touchscreen infotainment system with SatNav, full link featuring Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, voice control and DAB radio, seat drive profile, switchable drive modes, sports seats and flat-bottomed tire, ambient interior lighting, automatic wipers, cruise control. Top-spec Ibiza Xilence includes a generous number of kit, building on SE and FR with 16-inch alloy wheels, chrome window trim, black Alcon tartan upholstery, front center armrest, dual zone climate control, front and rear electric windows, keyless entry and ignition, front and rear parking sensors with reversing camera, SEAT Ibiza hatchback, optional extras. A choice of different alloy wheel designs might be added to various Ibiza models, while there are many attractive metallic paint options available at extra expense. An appealing option will be the full LED headlamps with distinctive LED daytime running light signature for that outside, and also LED interior lighting to keep the theme, while different seats might be added inside, along with a panoramic sunroof. In relation to technology, the full link system might be added to same models, but only should you also go to the navigation system, while there's an aftermarket Beats sound system entirely on all but entry-level trims. Wireless phone charging, the connectivity hub, can be available, and yes, it boosts phone signal inside the car. This is the style of thing to fascinate company car drivers, for example, along with cruise control. Spend a little more money and adaptive cruise control can be available. Finally, convenient features like parking sensors and cameras may be specified, to a storage pack which adds a variable height boot floor and drawers within the front seats. Useful circumstances to make driving easier may also be found about the options list, just like the convenience pack including automatic lights and wipers plus an auto-dimming rear-view mirror. Plenty of safety equipment as standard. 5 stars from Euro NCAP. Extra assistance tech could be added. Euro NCAP has awarded the SEAT Ibiza that has a top 5-star rating. As standard, it has a suite of airbags, electronic stability control and emergency brake assist, tire pressure monitoring, hill hold control and front assist. Seat's good name for autonomous emergency braking. There's a multi-collision foot brake which holds for the brakes from the event of a rear-end impact, while automatic warning lights flash under hard braking or perhaps an incident. Few safety extras might be added aside from adaptive cruise control, which means you won't manage to specify items like blind spot monitoring and lane departure warning as you can on such as the Ford Fiesta or Citroën C3. Surprisingly spacious in the Ibiza. Flexible, well-shaped boot. Not the brightest interior, though. The Ibiza is positively slightly shorter compared to the car it replaced, but due to an improvement in the length in the wheelbase, there's a noticeable quantity of extra space inside cabin. That's also down into a wider body as opposed to old car, and also wider seats. There's enough space for 4 adults to install in comfort, that has a generous quantity of headroom unless you're really tall. Most will likely be perfectly comfortable, though, however a passenger within the middle seat might check out squeeze slightly. Best left for that kids, that particular. It's an easy task to access due to your 5-door body style. There's decreasing requirement for 3-door superminis, therefore, the Ibiza is purely available in this type, that is useful for small families regularly utilizing the rear doors. Is the SEAT Ibiza roomy enough for your family? Even opting to the sunroof doesn't eat into roof space, and yes it adds extra light in the cabin, that is very welcome, as being the interior senses quite dark. The boot can be a generous 355 liters, which might be more generous than the majority its rivals. Higher spec models come which has a variable height boot floor also, to feature some extra flexibility. In relation to extra storage, you find big door bins, an abundance of cup holders and a few neat areas to save bits and bobs. It's impressive for this sort of small car. Folding the spine seats down is not difficult, expanding the entire load capacity from the Ibiza to 823 liters. The Ibiza is often a compact car, so a small number of drivers will feel daunted by its size. On the road, it's very simple to place with good visibility, while parking is easy likewise due to flat sides and a good amount of windows. Parking sensors and cameras could be added to help maneuverability, though with light steering and short overhangs, it's very simple to judge the size in the Ibiza when parking in tight spots. Boot space is often a very generous 355 liters, which might be expanded to 823 liters by folding the trunk seats down. With the seats up, that boot space is actually over a Mk5 VW Golf offered, which shows the amount of cars are becoming an adult. It's a square and usable size, though, although the loading lip is very high. The height could be adjusted on cars fitted having a variable boot floor, giving a level loading area when a corner seats are folded down.